sagging porch that frigid February evening, listening to 5 o'clock Herald chant, "Bring back Edwin Anger! Edwin is angry and so are we!" Howard doesn't chant. I'm not sure he can. Didn't matter. Everybody's got their limit, and I'd just hit mine. You really want to talk angry with me, boys? I stomped off the porch and wrenched the muzzle loader out of Howard's hands. Here's what I think of Edwin Anger. That college summer of hanging out with the cute reenactors was finally going to pay off. I took careful aim at the 10-foot snowman left over from last weekend's winter carnival, making sure no live humans were remotely close, and fired. Full disclosure, I wasn't even sure the thing was loaded, but Frosty's icy white head exploded with a satisfying boom, spraying bits of snow and slush everywhere. It looked like white fireworks in the single streetlight. Pretty impressive, actually. A few people passing by, safely out of range in the plaza, cheered. That'll get your attention. Got my attention, too. The muzzle loader had a good kick, and I was going to have a nice bruise on my shoulder. Still worth it. My friend Alicia Orr shot me a thumbs up from her car in the bank parking lot and yelled, "You go, Jay!" Her husband, the police chief, might see it differently, but that was his problem. Thanks! I handed the musket back to a gobsmacked Howard. You might want to clean that before you reload. Looks like it hasn't been oiled in a while. Harold and Howard stared, their faces now pretty much the same grayish-yellow shade as the Gadsden flag shirts they wore under their costume sale greatcoats, even though the Tea Party was probably too trendy lefty for those two. Understand, I said calmly. I respect your First Amendment right to protest, but you can do it over there in the public square, where you're not getting in the way of my business or the restaurants. Right about where I left a nice pile of slush while exercising my Second Amendment right. The snowman just stood there, headless and basically intact, mutilated but still giving no hint of the disaster to come. Harold and Howard picked up the shreds of their dignity and marched off toward the parking lot. It would have been plenty more formidable if they could have stayed in step, and if they hadn't been wearing New Balances and tube socks with their baggy breeches. They might also have been plenty less docile if they'd known what and who was in that snowman. But all bad things in their own good time. I walked back up to the porch, to high fives from my daughter Ryan and her new best friend Javier. "Nice one, Ma!" "Yay, Ryan's mom!" It was comforting to know that my name was the same, whether we were in New York or Vermont. Her old school friends had called me that too, and it always made me smile. Partly because of the way kids talk to adults, but also because of the name. Ryan's Hebrew name is Rena, for David's late grandmother, and I love the echo. None of Ryan's pals back home had been as good a running buddy as Javier. They shared most of the same interests, mainly space and electronics. Plus, they acted and even looked almost like sibs, both dark-haired and tall for their age. "Jay, what the hell did you just do?" My former boss and morning show partner, Rob Archer, walked out of his restaurant next door, running his bony hands through his brown hair, his light blue eyes glowing with the exact exasperated look he used to have when I asked one of the town worthies too hard a question. Ryan and Javier snickered. The only thing 10-year-olds like more than seeing things get blown up is seeing their parents unhappy about it. "Just making a point," I said with a shrug. "And pretty damn magnificently, if you ask me." Everyone turned in the direction of the voice, which I recognized, and not just from the occasional soundbite over the last couple of decades. Will Tenbrook, the once and current governor, political unicorn and actual Knickerbocker, as in descendant of old Dutch settlers, not free throws, walked past the decapitated snowman into the circle of light cast by the single street lamp.